चैव देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंद गोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्। So Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji, Dharan Pranam, and we will start our session, and I will share my screen for that. So, as we all know, like the topic of today's discussion is key of success in devotional service. So, if you can confirm, Prabhuji or Mataji, like if my screen is visible.
Yeah, Prabhu, you can go on a presentation mode. Yeah, now visible, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So, with the mercy of Guru Gauranga and all the Vaishnavas, I would like to share something very important in our devotional life. And I pray the Lord that if we follow the points that we discuss today, it should help in having unidirectional flow of all our activities in the service of the Lord. We should know how important it is to perform devotional service, what is the importance of that, and the very basic things that we have to remember without any doubt while performing the service to the Lord. And if we see like the pastimes of the Lord, Sri Krishna and Srimati Radharani are getting performed, but they're covering themselves so that we cannot see from our material eyes. So we pray the Lord that the key of success, the points that we are going to discuss, should help us to get a key so that we can someday become the part of the pastimes of the Lord. So with that prayer, we will start the further discussion. So the shloka that we are going to take is from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.38. Saved dhatu padavim parasya duranta viryasya ratang panehe yo maya santatanu bhajet tatpad saroja gandham. I'll recite once more, Prabhu, and then probably we can recite one time each. Saved dhatu padavim parasya duranta viryasya ratang panehe yo maya santatanu bhajet tatpad saroja gandham. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, you want to recite Prabhu once?
Yeah, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Savedadatu padavim parasya duranta viryasya ratangapaneha yo mayaya santa tadyanuvritya bhajet tatpada sarojagantam. Please also wants to recite, Prabhu, if you are okay.
Yeah, please, Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
Yes,
Savedadatu padavim parasya duranda viryasya ratangapani yo mayaya santatanuvritya bhajet tatpada sarojagandham. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Mataji. We will recite the word by word next. Is Ati Sundari there?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Guruji, Mataji. Danda Pranam. Yes. Saha, he, alone, Veda can know the Dhatu of the creators, Padvim, glories, Parasya of the transcendence, Duranta Virasya of the greatly powerful, Rathang Panehe of Lord Krishna who bears in his hand a wheel of the chariot. Yah one who Amaya without reservation, Santitaya without any gap, Anuvritya favorably, Bhajita render service, that path of his feet, Saroj Gandham, fragrance of the lotus. Hare Krishna.
So I'll read the translation quickly. Only those who render unreserved, uninterrupted, favorable service unto the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna, who carries the wheel of the chariot in his hand, can know the creator of the universe in his full glory, power, and transcendence. So, Prabhuji, you want to read the purport, Prabhu, once?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Only the purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Only the pure devotees can know the transcendental name, form, activities of Lord Krishna due to their being completely freed from reaction. I think Mataji has to go on mute, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah, Prabhu, sorry. Due to their being completely freed from the reactions of fruity work and mental speculation, the pure devotees have nothing to derive as personal profit from their unalloyed service to the Lord. They render incessant service to the Lord spontaneously without any reservation. Everyone within the creation of the Lord is rendering service to the Lord indirectly or directly. No one is an exception to this law of the Lord. Those who are rendering service indirectly, being forced by the illusionary agent of the Lord, or rendering service unto him unfavorably. But those who are rendering service unto him directly under the direction of his beloved agent are rendering service to him favorably. Such favorable servitors are devotees of the Lord, and by the grace of the Lord, they can enter into the mysterious region of the transcendence by the mercy of the Lord. But the mental speculators remain in the darkness of all the time. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord himself guides the pure devotees toward the path of the realization due to their constant engagement of the loving service of the Lord in spontaneous affection. That is the secret of entering into the kingdom of the God. Fruitive activities and speculation are no qualifications for entering. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you. So, this is one shloka. If we just meditate on this shloka, like every single day, I mean, it has the potency. I mean, every single shloka, every single word of Bhagavatam has full potency. There is no difference. Particularly, like I like this shloka because it is like a thread in Bhagavad Gita. There is a shloka, right? He is like a thread who is not visible directly, but all other like beads are part of that. So if we try to understand this shloka, like it covers every single thing that we need in our devotional service. So I'll try to take, I mean, from the word by word, right? Saha, he alone. So it is talked about a person. Only that kind of person, means only that person who follows this thing, right, can get success in his devotional life. So there are not multiple doors through which we can get the entry to our like supreme abode. Only there is one door, and only the people who passes through the door are like eligible to get the success. So he alone, that's why I wanted to emphasize the word alone. There is no other way. Right? Veda can know dhatuhu. Dhatu means of the creator. Okay, it is called Srishta in Hindi. So when we say my screen is visible, no Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so you're able to see the slide still, right, Mataji?
Yeah, very much useful, Prabhuji.
Yes. So dhatu means the origin of everything. In Hindi, like or English, like we read those nouns, pronouns. So the most basic thing with which all the entire vocabulary is formed is called dhatu. The original or origin, basically the creator. Okay. So of the creator, padavim. Padavim means position, glories. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada says it is not sufficient to know that Krishna is great, which of course he is, but we should also know how he is great. So because more we hear about Krishna, it will bring us closer and closer and closer to the Lord. Okay. If someone says, why are you just reading Bhagavatam or just listening the lectures whole day? Why are you not doing any devotional service? So reading Bhagavatam and hearing Bhagavatam is the devotional service. Parikshit Maharaj, we know, like he heard Bhagavatam for a week from Sri Sukadeva Goswami, and then he reached the Lord. So whatever time that we spend in hearing brings us closer to the Lord, because one of the name of the Lord is like Shrutikshana, one whom we can see by hearing. So that's why Padavim is very important, like to know the position of the Lord. So like in Bhagavad Gita 7.4 and 5, right? There are 8 elements of the material nature which are defined: Bhumi, Rapo, Anil, Vayu, right? So it starts from earth, then water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. So they are in the order. Okay. Earth, we can associate, we can see, touch, smell, everything we can do with the earth. The more we go further from earth to water, right? Then fire, air, ether. Higher we go in terms of the position, more subtle it becomes. And why false ego is topmost in these 8 elements is because it is higher than the intelligence also, because once we are in ahankara stage, our intelligence is gone. So similar to the way that we heard about the order, the position of the material elements, similar to that, first that demigods, right? Then Brahma, then Shiva, then Garuda, right? And then Vishnu, and then the Lord Sri Krishna. So it is very, very important if we know the position of the Lord. Parasya means of the transcendence. He is beyond everything. Duranta Virasya, of the greatly powerful. Okay, and this power does not mean the physical strength of the power alone. It also includes the power of the love. Okay, so same Krishna on whom so many yogis millennium after millennium are meditating is running behind the calves in Goloka, and he's not answering to the prayers of those yogis for those thousands of years, right? But he is behind that calf and asking, I mean, do you need something, like when the calf makes the sound, right? So Krishna is worried whether the calf is hungry, thirsty. So like a mother, Krishna is running behind that calf. So Virashya means the power, and the most powerful thing is the power of the love. Rathang Pane, of the Lord Krishna, who bears in his hand the wheel of chariot. So, to be honest, when I heard this translation for the first time, I found something which was very obvious. Why was it mentioned? And that thing was, who carries the wheel of the chariot in his hand. When we are telling most powerful, right, beyond this nature, beyond this material creation, then it becomes obvious we are talking about the Lord. So why this Rathang Pane? It is very, very important word in this shloka. Rathang Pane. So Rathang Pane means Rath, chariot, Anga, part of the chariot, Pane, carrying in his hand. So a part of the chariot is carried in hand. So it is like in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, we hear the most important principle is, right, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So we may tend to feel, maybe most of us have done it also, if somebody is saying always remember Krishna, it obviously means never forget Krishna. But the thing is so important that our acharyas cannot let us divert even by a smallest inch. Okay, so they make the things so very much clear that we have no doubt. So because somebody can see dhatu of the creator, first thing that comes in our mind for the word creator is Brahma. So one may feel that it is talked about Brahma, right? Then Parasya, of the transcendence, he is beyond material nature. Brahma is still part of the material creation. So definitely it clears the word, it clears the doubt in our mind that it is not talked about Brahma. But one may still think that it is talked about Akshar Brahma, because that is also beyond this material creation. Okay, but then it is also mentioned Duranta Viryasya, most greatly powerful. One may still have doubt. Okay, Akshar Brahma is also most powerful. It is beyond this creation, right? Rathang Pane. This clears all the doubts, because one who carries the wheel of the chariot. So Rathang means the wheel of the chariot. That part of the rath, which is like wheel in this case. So Lord Krishna is on one side, he's saying that bhakti is sudurlabha, right? It is very rare. And why it is rare? Because the Lord becomes dependent, right, on the devotees. He is controlled from pure devotional, with the help of the pure devotional service. Lord is always behind his devotees, always taking care of him. So in a way, like, Lord becomes a servant of those who are doing the pure devotional service. So that's why it is called Sudurlabha. But does Krishna really mean it? Probably not, because he is telling, with the help of this shloka, how you can control me. If I have, in this material sense, the most important thing that we have, one of the most important things that we have with us is like the ATM card and the pin of that. And we know how important is that, and we never reveal it, right? So Krishna is telling the pin, right, the key of the treasure of his love with everyone without any doubt. So, and when we say the Rathang Pane means wheel, right? So one more thing that comes in our mind with wheel is the vow taken by Bhishma that he will either kill Arjuna, or he will let Krishna use his weapon. And Krishna broke his vow to keep the vow of his devotee. So one small thing that came in my mind was like yesterday, for Yudhishthira, okay, he was the topmost devotee of the Lord, and in their same form of life, they all went to the abode of the Lord directly in the very same body. In the Bhagavatam 15th chapter, it is very clearly explained, and the Shravan, basically the output that we get while after hearing chapter 15 is one who believes, who really has no doubt that all the Pandavas in their same form of same body, they went to the Lord, also get the same benefit. That is the Falashruti. Okay, so that Yudhishthira Maharaj, for that Ashwatthama thing, thought that he should not be lying, which is the quality which the Lord, of course, Lord, of course, cared, right? That's why he is considered such a topmost devotee. The point that please don't see it as a conflict, but I'm trying to basically connect the fact that how merciful the Lord is. Yudhishthira Maharaj did not want to break his promise. Fine, Lord accepted him. Bhishma wanted to make Lord break his promise. Lord accepted him. Right? The Lord used the chariot wheel to keep the promise of the Bhishma. So the message that we are getting here is, we should not feel what will happen to my position, my things, because I am such in one ashrama, I should be doing this, I should not be doing that. Those rules and regulations are always there, and we are meant to follow them. But the topmost thing of Bhagavad Gita is Sarva Dharmana Parityajya. Whatever Lord is saying, that is the topmost dharma. Because that most merciful Lord is not caring for his own words, and he is using the that chariot wheel. So that same Lord got the beatings of Haridas Thakur on his chest. He allowed Arjuna to keep his feet while fighting in the battle. So he is beyond everything. I mean, we must appreciate that thing, that he is always behind every single person. And if the person is devotee, then it gives him the most pleasure. As Jagat Sakshi Prabhuji was telling in one of the recent classes, that Lord Krishna with his queens talks about every single one of his devotees, that this devotee today offered me this thing. He chanted my rounds very seriously today, and today he was not serious, but it makes the Lord talk about us, and the Lord enjoys that thing. So we must never have any doubt that why would Krishna accept me? Because Krishna would reject us for the very same reason for which a mother can reject his baby, and mother cannot. So Krishna can definitely not. So, okay, Rathang Pane is done. Yaha, one who amayaya, without reservation. These three words, amayaya, santataya, anuvartya, are the it forms the key. Okay, that is the key that we are going to discuss in detail. For now, amayaya means without reservation, santataya, without any gap, anuvartya, favorably, bhajet, renders service, tatpad, of his feet, saroja gandham, fragrance of the lotus. So now we will discuss this thing. Anu, the key basically that we have to understand and then try to apply in our life. Okay, so amayaya means nishkapat in Hindi, or no reservation. in English. So Nishkapat means we must not restrict ourselves. Okay, which there should not be any reservation, and it should be a Nishkapat without any self motive. Okay, so it is very close to, like we can say, there should not be any duplicity. And what is duplicity? We say something, but we do something else. That is kapat. With this, if a person is always good, then there is no kapat. Okay, if a person is always bad, if we look in deep, actually it is a kapat only, but with definition of the word, right? At least there is no duplicity. Kamsa did not have any duplicity. For him, Krishna was his enemy. Okay, Vidura, there was no duplicity. Krishna was his friend. Arjuna, there was no doubt, right? Arjuna, Krishna was always his friend. There was no duplicity. Duplicity comes in people like us when we like Krishna, definitely, but we like Krishna's things more. We like Krishna's things so much more, probably more than Krishna. That is duplicity. Okay, so it is like when a person goes to a shop. Okay, the big shop, not a mall. Nobody cares in mall. I mean, if you go to some jewelry shop, for example, Malabar. Okay, then if we are well dressed and if we came out from a expensive car, then it will have an immediate different impression on the mind of the jewelry shop guy, and they will offer us so much respect. They will ask us for cold drink, whatever thing we want to, right? They even send cakes on the occasions. So the point is, they are not caring for us as a person. All those things, getting down from an expensive car and our the way we are dressed up, it gives an impression to the seller that this person is going to give me a lot of profit. That profit is there in his mind. He's not respecting us as a person. Next day, if we go in a different dress, probably he will not even recognize and not even allow us to enter the shop also. The very same person. That is like an example to understand what is kapat. So in the very same line, like in Hindi, there is a small saying. Okay, गजब हैरान हूं मैं भगवान, गजब हैरान हूं मैं भगवान, तुम्हें रिझाऊं कैसे. Means the Lord, I am very much astonished, surprised. I don't know how do I make you pleased. You are like Brahm. There is no end. There is no beginning. There is no end. Right. So if the same person, if he is asked to offer a chapati to the Lord, he will say, "You are Brahm. Roti is Brahm. How can I give a Brahm to Brahm?" And they always find an excuse, right? The person. So the very same person, if we give him a chapati, he will eat immediately. Right? He will not say. Then the person can be asked, right? You are also Brahm, part of the same Brahm. Chapati is also Brahm. How you yourself are eating it, right? So that is kapat, duplicity basically. That's what we are trying to understand more. So this duplicity is a barrier in our path because it sets different expectations in our mind. If expectation is fulfilled, we will be pleased. Otherwise, it will give birth to anger, then lust, and then I cannot recall that sloka, but that smriti labdate, something that finally our intelligence will go on, and we, I think, third chapter, Prabhuji, it is, I don't know. So,
I think second chapter, Prabhuji. Dhyayato Vishayat Purushai.
Hari Bol. Okay. Jai Mataji. Yes.
The first sloka and the connecting sloka is what you have mentioned right now.
Okay. Okay. Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji. So the point here is that we have our different expectations, and we are in relationship to the Lord as long as our desires are getting fulfilled, just because He is fulfilling our desires. Another very nice example of understanding this word amayaya is, as I mentioned, right? No reservation. So if a person enters a train, okay, with a ticket, but that ticket is in waiting list, it is not confirmed, okay. So if I have a waiting list ticket and if I board the train, I have no means, but I have no reservation, right? And whatever, wherever, however I am treated in train, more or less, I will be happily ready to accept that. I will not demand anything. That is a waiting list example. But if I have the reservation, I cannot see any other person on that position, and I will feel myself owner of that thing for that time, that duration of the time. So that is like reservation. So amayaya means no reservation. We must not have any expectation. Very much close to Tranadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishuna, right? Amananina Manadina Kirtaniya Sadhari. We have no expectation from the other person. Then only we can be always Kirtaniya Sadhari. So amayaya means no expectation, no reservation. So this Prabhupada always says that Krishna consciousness is simple for simple people. If I take a very small example, okay, suppose I'm reading a shloka from Bhagavad Gita, just an example I'm taking, and the translation of that shloka says, if I spotlight any of our participants, he will go back to the Godhead immediately. Very simple thing. But the moment we hear, we are not that convinced. Spotlight, anybody can do it. People can misuse it. Had that been the case, everybody else would have gone to Goloka. How is that possible? All those thousands of questions comes in our mind. Does it not come? So even if we are convinced that by me being in spotlight, I will go back to Godhead, first of all, people will not believe. Even if we believe, then I will feel, oh, I'm going to be on spotlight, so I should be well here. Okay, I should I should be looking good. Okay, maybe I can put a cap. Maybe I should wash my face. What will people feel? So why are we discussing this? A very, very mundane example, just to understand the fact that Krishna consciousness is simple for simple. We are just told one single line: just come on spotlight, and you will go back to Godhead. Why do we make the things so complicated by ourselves by adding those hundreds of other parameters to the equation which are not mentioned? Do we feel our acharyas are not that qualified that they mentioned the main thing, but remaining 99 things they assume that we will do? They are saying, always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Do they leave any room of any doubt in any of their statements? Rathang Panehi. Are they leaving any room for any doubt? Probably not. Why do I want to comb my hair so nicely that I should be looking good when I come on the spotlight, that when I enter the Goloka, I should be praised there? That is the very same reason why we are still here. Because that conviction, what is expected from us, we are either not doing it or we are doing it with our own mental speculative way. Mental speculation is a term which sounds very different as if we don't do it, but every single day, every single moment we are doing it. By definition, mental speculation means we assume our capabilities more. Okay, we feel ourselves too much confidence, okay, of our capabilities, or it means laziness. These two things form the world of speculation, and we are both. Okay, so this is about Amayaya. And one last point that I want to take like here before I go to the next one is, does this mean that I will never be able to get the love of Krishna? Because the duplicity is always there. It is my, please hear attentively. That duplicity is there in the blood of my blood. Maximum visibility that I have is to our blood. We do not know the blood group of our blood, right? It is so much subtle. We cannot take it out. Okay, so I repeat, that duplicity is there in the blood of our blood, which is not even visible to us. It is so subtle. So, does this mean I will never get a chance to get the love of Krishna? Because Krishna is saying there should not be any duplicity. Is there any hope? Answer is yes. Because at least we should have the desire that someday we will get the love. Okay. Again, there is a shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm very bad in remembering shloka. Its meaning is, once the moment we have the desire of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord is so pleased. We are not listening Bhagavatam yet. We are having a desire. In night, 10:30 p.m. when I sleep, I make a plan that tomorrow morning I will wake up at 4:15 and I will do my japa. I am just making a plan. I'm not waking up at 4:15. I'm waking up at 6:30. Okay. In night 10:30 when I'm making the plan, Chitragupta is very much pleased. Brahma is looking. I think Brahma or no, sorry, Chitragupta is shying and looking at the nail of the toe of such a devotee. Oh my God, this is such a great devotee. He's making the plan to chant tomorrow. All his sins are shivering out of fear. Okay, Brahma is making the road. Oh, this devotee will pass when he goes back to the abode of the Lord. Probably he will pass through this way. So let me clean the path and make the path cleaner so that he does not have to face any difficulty. That is the effect of just not chanting, making the plan that I will chant tomorrow morning. Okay, and Prabhupada says that when we are trying to hear, it is equal to offenseless chanting. We are not hearing, right? We are just trying to hear. And the key to hear, okay, is to speak, basically pronounce very clearly. If you are putting milk in a cup, only milk can come out, right, from there. That ruabza cannot come out if you are putting a milk. So whatever you are reciting, pronouncing, only that you can hear. If your pronunciation itself is not correct, hearing is a subset of what you are reciting, pronouncing. So hearing, we do not have that much control practically, okay, as compared to pronunciation. So when we pronounce the name of the Lord in Mahamantra, it should be as clear as possible, so that at least we are trying, right? Krishna is not expecting us, to win the battle, alone. Right? We just have to have the desire. Okay. Amayaya is done. Santataya. Santatya. Okay. Santatya. Okay. Santataya. I will say like this. Sorry. I'm practicing here. I should have done it earlier. Santataya. So, Santataya means nirantar, continuous. Nirantar means, antar means difference. Nirantar means overcoming all the differences. Means without any gap, continuous. So, when there is any interruption, okay, it means there is a gap, and that gap means an opportunity for Maya to attack us. It is very practical. We feel we are done for today's sadhana. Let me do something else. Okay. The moment we get such feeling, or I have been chanting Monday to Saturday very nicely. Today I'm slightly not well. Let me take a rest on Sunday. Tomorrow is anyway Monday. Office will start. My chanting will also start. Symptom attack of Maya. I have done enough of hard work during the week. The weekend has come. Let me sleep, or let me do something which probably can be avoided. Okay. Symptom of Maya. Does this mean all 24/7 we should be in the service of the Lord? Answer is yes. Is it possible? Probably not. We have the responsibilities of many, including ourselves, on us. So what is the solution? Morning is the time when we are not into any varnashrama. Okay, if from 8 o'clock onwards to 10 o'clock, I am a father, I am a husband. 10 to 6 in the evening, I am an employee. 6 to 9 again, either I am a friend or a neighbor or a other son or something. Morning 4 to 6, I am not in any varnashrama dharma. That is, like Mahatma Prabhu says, that is the time when we can utilize it most. Okay, it is like driving on a highway. When we, very small example, if it is morning 6:30 or before, then if we go towards the ISKCON temple in Vrindavana, then the road is very straight, it is all open, and we can reach the temple in maximum 5 minutes from home. We can reach the temple in car. Now, if you cross that morning window, 7 o'clock, and in afternoon or evening or any time after that, if you want to go, then you will need 25 minutes minimum to reach the same destination. And sometime, why I said minimum? Because sometimes you are not even allowed. So you cannot go. It is impossible. 25 minutes is minimum. That's why. So morning's time is that. So Santataya means continuous. And the minimum duration of the continuous, if not 24/7, then at least every single day. Okay. And when we chant, we should be having with full respect, we should be chanting. See, we are discussing about the key, right? We are discussing about the qualities of the Lord. Unless anything related to Krishna, if it is not correlatable with our chanting, something is missing. We are missing some angle of the story. It should directly be able to help us to assist in our chanting. If we have that clear vision, the chances of error are less. And anyway, we are doing everything in respect of Krishna. Right? Very simple definition. Krishna's means absolute. Mine means material. My name, my car, my phone, my laptop, all material. Krishna's name, Krishna's dham, Krishna's devotees, Krishna's katha, Krishna's water is Charanamrit, Krishna's food is Prasadam. Anything related to Krishna is absolute. If it is related to Krishna, my family material, same family given to my by Krishna, absolute. Krishna's arrangement, absolute. Okay, so we are discussing about continuous. So the minimum definition of continuous should not be, it does not mean regular. I do visit the Bhagavatam class every week, because there are those 6 days when we are struggling very, very badly with Maya. The 7th day will of course make the difference, but we are not at that elevated stage that one day fuel will help us run for 6 days. At least, like I have been failing every single week doing so. So minimum definition of continuous means every single day, if not 24/7. So like Mother Ganges flows Nirantar, right? It does not care. There is a big stone. There is an in Kunti Sanuti, there is a sloka also, right? Gange voham udanmati. Let my full focus be onto you, like the same way that the Mother Ganges flows without any obstacles. So the point is, obstacles will definitely come in our way, but if it is while we are doing the sadhana, and if it is coming on our way, it is not equal to and the problems which are faced by the very same people, but in material sense. Means if we are doing sadhana, if we are getting obstacles, it is Krishna's way of helping us to improve, rather than things coming. It definitely comes as a result of our karma only, and we should be thanking to the Lord for reducing the magnitude of the problem to so less, which otherwise could be very big. Okay, the message that we are trying to get here is Tatte Anukampan. There is a sloka in Brahma Stuti 10.14 chapter, 10.14.6 or 7, I think, where a person says that if a person is there in the devotional service, then any obstacle that comes are the arrangement of the Lord for, and the person does not compromise for anything else. I mean, he needs the love of the Lord, okay, only. So, and how do we measure whether we are progressing in our chanting, whether we are progressing in our devotional service? Just ask yourself a question: are you eager exactly in the same amount for hearing and chanting as you used to be? If the answer is yes, then you are not progressing, because the eagerness should increase. Okay, has the eagerness gone, you have fallen down. I mean, I'm saying for myself, sorry. So if it is same, good, but you're not progressing. Is the eagerness increasing? Yes, then yes, you're progressing. One time, when question was asked to Srila Prabhupada, that what is one thing that you still want to do? Like, is there something that you want to do still? So Prabhupada said, yes, I want to write the purpose of Bhagavad Gita again. so there is no, the eagerness to serve increases more and more and more and more. Okay, and similarly, Haridas Thakura, to that Lakha Hira, that prostitute that who had come, he told her to chant and offer obeisance to Tulsi Maharani every single day. So continuity is very important. Today we are alive, we are healthy, because we have been eating. Okay, or now we have been honoring the prasadam for some time, right? So that is the importance of the word santataya. It should be nirantar, continuous. Okay, and the next, the last one word here is anuvritya. Anuvritya means favorable. Okay, so favorable means, as we saw in the sloka also, every single person, right? no one is an exception to this law. Okay, everyone within this creation of the Lord is rendering service to the Lord directly or indirectly. This is very, very important here. Okay, so favorable means it should be in the service of the Lord. Okay, I will take a very a small but very, very important example. Okay, so a mother whose son is a murderer and has been imprisoned for lifetime in a jail is getting monthly salary in jail because they are forced to work in the jail, right? When the prisoners are there. So who is giving the money? Government. For how long? For lifetime. And so if the mother is asked, what is your son doing? Mother can say that he has a government job and he's getting his monthly salary and it is permanent. He will never be fired from his job. By definition, there is nothing wrong, right? But we know it is not a full fact. On the other side, if the person is an IAS officer, is still working for the same government, is still getting the money, his job is permanent throughout his life. And now if the mother says that he's a government servant, he has a government job for lifetime permanent, there is nothing wrong from any of the sides here. That is the difference. Now, we all are serving Krishna, directly or indirectly. But when we are serving Krishna directly, it is called favorable. But when we are serving the Maya, who is working under Maya Dakshina Prakriti, right? Who is working under the supervision of same Krishna, then it is like that first case, the boy who's there in the jail for life. So the choice is ours. One may question that favorable means it is very important question. Again, how we can connect it to chanting. We may feel very often than not that when we are chanting, we are not relishing it. We hardly enjoy the chanting. Hardly. Namabhas stays some very, very, very less times that Krishna out of his mercy gives it. But most of the times we don't. We may say it is not favorable, but the question is favorable to Krishna. Like a baby who is trying to learn the counting, if the baby may not be writing it correctly, baby may not be enjoying practicing writing the numbers, it is still okay. As a parents, we do enjoy that he is on the right track. Krishna says, if a person chants my name knowingly, unknowingly, jokingly, angrily, whatever, any XXXly, okay, that person's responsibility is mine. Krishna never forgets the fact that this very same person chanted my name. Forget about in which mood, how, which place, etc. So, favorable to Krishna, it is pleasing to the Lord, it is pleasing to the Srimati Radharani. We liking it or not is not at all important. Okay, once Vrindavan Chandra Maharaj was asked that in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned the person who follows the four relative principles performs the chanting, right? And he has Bhagavatam, will get the love of the Lord, liberation immediately. Okay, so then the person says that I have been doing it for so many years, I'm not getting it. Then Maharaj answers that out of the scale of the eternity, this life itself is a moment only. So see, that is not our that is not the question that is asked, expected from us to be asked, right? How soon or how this platform of devotional service is not a target. The journey of devotional service is the target. As we all know, Prabhupada answered like, what is the result of chanting? And Prabhupada's answer was chanting more. Again, in Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, it is mentioned that, I think it is second canto, that every single person in any place, here or in Goloka, when they perform the devotional service, their devotional services, their liking and the eagerness to perform the devotional service and their ecstasy increases. So every person can say, yes, it is increasing. Yes, it is increasing. There should be an end. No, there is no end. Even, for example, Ananta Deva, who is out of his thousands of hoods chanting the glories of the Lord, cannot even count the number of glories. Forget about describing them. So it means the domain of the bandwidth, right, on which the devotional service thing is spreaded, it is endless. Let us think about this in a bit more detail. It is endless. Why are we not able to understand? Endless means endless. We just had discussed about the example of spotlight, right? I'm feeling myself exactly in the same state. I'm applying my brain, and by endless, I want to put a limit to this. Okay, this much. Okay, this much. Had there been any limit to the love of the Lord, then the person who is there at that stage, he will not release it more, because it is increasing and increasing again and again and again further, and it is getting more joy. That's why the person is able to do it, right? So endless means endless, and it always increases. So we are done with the key. This completes our triangle. This is the key. And if you see, this key has these 3 lines here, right? To open the door. These 3 lines represents each of these. Nishkapat, no reservation. Amayaya, Santatadaya, Anuvartya. So these 3, each of these 3 lines represents. Each is, the key cannot open the door unless all the 3 things are there. If I break one of these 3, that key becomes unqualified to open the door. So how? Because no reservation. Kamsa we discussed, he had no reservation. He wanted to kill Krishna, okay, continuously, right? 2 things were there, but it was not favorable. If we go to a Bhagavatam class, okay, and we have no reservation, we want to hear like Parikshit Maharaj, okay, it is favorable, but we are not able to do it continuously. Continuous, by definition, for this discussion, we put a definition, right? Continuous means at least every single day. If you are not able to do it, those gaps will come. Maya will find a place to attack us. And if it is if it is favorable also, and if it is continuous also, but if we are reserved, we don't want to do it wholeheartedly, then again it will not give that chance. So this completes the triangle, okay, and coincidentally it is a triangle, right? So in a triangle is said to be congruent to another triangle when certain conditions are met. So I was just teaching Nikunj, that's why I remember. Otherwise, my memory is very bad, you know. So like all sides are equal, right? A, or two angles or one side is equal, then one angle is called congruent to another triangle. Sorry, two triangles are said to be congruent to each other if either all the sides are equal or all the angles are equal or two angles and one side is equal. So here we see anuvartya, amayaya, santataya, A as A, angle, side, angle. So if we follow this thing, the triangle of our devotional service becomes congruent to Krishna's triangle. Krishna's triangle is Krishna's abode. Krishna's abode is Goloka Vrindavana, where the pastimes are happening. So with this key, okay, our triangle of devotional service becomes congruent to Krishna's, and we get an access to actually participate, get a chance. So we will read the purport once more. And Prabhuji, do I have time, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Okay.
On that, you can start with the translation, Prabhu. That also like very nice. Yeah.
Sure, Prabhu. Sure. Thank you,
Yeah.
Prabhu. So only, right? We had highlighted the word only.
Yeah.
There is no other way. Only those who render unreserved. Unreserved means amayaya,
Yeah.
uninterrupted, santataya, favorable, anuvartya. So when we are who render unreserved, uninterrupted, favorable service unto the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna, who carries the wheel of the chariot in his hand, like Bhishma we discussed, can know the creator of the universe in his full glories, power, and transcendence. Why? Because more we hear, more we enjoy. Very parallel to what is the result of all this? Okay, the result of this is we relish these things more and more. So once His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj was hearing the pastime of Mother Rukmini pulled by Lord Krishna on the chariot while she was going to get married with Shishupal, right? Possibly. Maharaj heard this line and he started crying. There is no difference. There is no comparison between we hearing at our level and Maharaj hearing it. It is altogether difference. But the point that I'm trying to say here is that more and more we hear. Maharaj is Mahabhagavat. I mean, Maharaj. I mean, there are some of the pastimes are like sort of revealed, like Radha Govind Maharaj. It is a fact, very secretively popular. It is Maharaj can talk. Maharaj has been confirmed to be talking with Srimati Radharani by another devotee who is also very great, and then so we cannot take their example. But the point that is there is like Maharaj was hearing the Narasimha Dev's that drama performed by someone. So Maharaj started crying from there. So because they can see something which we cannot even dream of. Once His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj said that he saw his all God brothers in the golden form. So, and then he also said that he asked Gaura Sundar, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for some more life so that he could further use it for the service of the Lord and to serve Srila Prabhupada. And once Jananivas Prabhu was slapped when he was sleeping because he forgot a pin for Jagannath. So, and when he went there, and these are like known facts in his phones, like they do have that relation with the Lord. So, see, Krishna can accept 16,100 wives, not because he needed those many wives, Krishna accepted them because those 16,100 girls captured by the demon Manasura, I think, I don't know. Maybe Manasura. Prabhu, you can correct me, Prabhu. Was it Manasura only or Mataji? I don't know. He was captured.
Manasura, Prabhu, yeah.
Okay, so he was captured, and then those they all requested Krishna to accept them. So Krishna accepted them. So our situation is like that of a queen. Okay, a queen had a fever. Her temperature was 102 degree, and she was very upset. And why was she upset? She was upset because her maid servant, who is working for her, who is paid by her, who is living on her mercy, happens to have temperature of 104 degree. She was telling, I am a queen. My temperature should be more. She is working for me. How can she have more temperature than me? So our situation is that we don't understand. We just compare, and in the sense we don't know what is good for us. I mean, temperature is not good for anybody, right? Similarly, and final thing is like, how do we measure that we are actually progressing, right? When the Prajalpa, this was told by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, when hearing the Prajalpa, not only sounds as boring, that is of course a symptom of progress. It should sound as boring. Okay, when the Prajalpa sounds as not only boring but also painful, I must lament in my heart, if not openly, right? Because of our Varnashrama Dharma, that Varnashrama Dharma in which we belong to after 6 a.m. So due to that, we cannot say it openly, but we must cry in our heart that what karma I had done that I have to hear this, I cannot ignore this, and then it must pain. Okay, so a devotee is like never satisfied with whatever service he is doing. Like once one very great Prabhu was asked, like, who is to prepare the prasadam for the Lord every single day? I mean, are you happy with your are you satisfied with your cooking? And he said, no, I always feel I miss something. And I took the example of Srila Prabhupada also, right? He was asked that what thing you want to do in your life again, and then he said, I wanted to rewrite the purport of the Bhagavad Gita again. So with this, I will just read the purport again, and then we are done. We'll try to I'll read slowly so that we can try to remember what we read against that single line. So our entire discussion was in the line of the purport only. So only the pure devotee, who is pure devotee, who fulfills those 3 points, right? It is very much parallel to Anya Abhilasita Shunyam Jnana Karmadya Navritam Anukulena Krishnanu Silanam Bhakti Ruttama. So pure devotee. Only the pure devotee can know the transcendental name, form, and activities of the Lord Krishna, due to their being completely freed from the reactions of fruitive work and mental speculation. Mental speculation, we can always remember that spotlight example. The pure devotee have nothing to derive as personal profit from their unalloyed service to the Lord. They render incessant service to the Lord spontaneously without any reservation. Reservation, we can always understand that train wala example. There should not be any expectation. Everyone within the creation, everyone within the Lord. Prabhu, 1 second, sorry. Sorry, Prabhu. They render incessant service to the Lord spontaneously without any reservation. Everyone within the creation of the Lord is rendering service to the Lord indirectly or directly. We discussed this, that Maya wala example. That mother who had 2 kids, right? One jail and the IAS officer. No one is an exception to this law of the Lord. Those who are rendering service indirectly, being forced by the illusory agent of the Lord, and rendering service unto him unfavorably. But those who are rendering service unto him directly, under the direction of his beloved agent, our Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru, Srila Prabhupada, they are rendering service unto him favorably. So our spiritual progress depends exactly on the conviction that we have on our spiritual master. Okay, this was very nicely put by one very nice devotee in Panchayabag Ashram here, His Grace Bimla Prasad Prabhu. So when we say spiritual master, the immediately one thing that comes in our mind is our Diksha Guru, which is of course he is our spiritual master, but it is not restricted to Diksha Guru alone. You, for a very true example, you all are my Siksha Gurus. So when I say spiritual master, I'm not able to do it. Let me tell it very transparently, but this is why my progress is stopping. That day, from my heart, I start seeing you as my spiritual master. Probably your true mercy will follow me. So I'm stopping that from my side only, my conditioning. So, but those who are rendering the service unto him directly under the direction of his beloved agent are rendering service to him favorably. Such favorable servitors are devotees of the Lord, and by the grace of the Lord, they can enter into the mysterious region of the transcendence by the mercy of the Lord. But the mental speculator remain in darkness all the times, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. The Lord himself guides the pure devotees towards the path of realization due to their constant engagement in the loving service of the Lord in spontaneous affection. That is the secret of entering into the kingdom of God. Fruitive actions are speculations. They are not qualifications for entry. So with this, I take your permission and then we are done. So this shloka covers the Sanya Vaishashara Sunnam part also. And even all the 4 shlokas which are part of the Bhakti Shastri, right, of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, they are actually covered by like the thread we discussed. So they are covered by this shloka. So thank you, Srila Prabhupada, and to you all for giving me the opportunity. And I really thanks from my heart to all of you as my spiritual master, and His Grace Subha Krishna Das Prabhu, His Grace Keshavanand Prabhu. I just repeated what they had said. Hare Krishna. I'll stop the sharing, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Amazing shloka and amazing lecture, Prabhu. Like a wonderfully you explained with the 3 concepts, like how we can get the mercy of the Lord by just focusing on like a amayaya, which is no reservation, santataya, like which is continuous, and anuvrittaya, favorable. So like the key has like all the 3 parts, how you mentioned. So even if one part is like a broken, then you can never use that key like to open the door. The same way, if one is like not been followed, then we will never be able to reach the Goloka. And you just very nicely explained like that triangle to triangle connectivity, how we can get congruent to Lord's triangle. So wonderful, Prabhu, like amazing. I'll just complete since I start speaking, like I'll complete my this one. So very nice, Prabhu. Like the benefit of bhakti, like you mentioned. So we are doing bhakti. It's not a destination; it is a journey itself. And many a times, like we will see what is the benefit of bhakti. Like the benefit of bhakti is get to see the Bhagavan, and the benefit after seeing the Bhagavan, like what, because while we doing the bhakti, we will hankering for what we are trying to achieve, because we want to see Bhagavan, correct? So that is a benefit of bhakti. So once we get to see the Bhagavan, so what is the benefit? Like then Bhagavan will guide us like to get to see the good bhakta, but the pure devotee. So that is a whole connection of like a bhakti, Bhagavan, and bhakta. So bhakta is always like having a higher aspect like than Bhagavan, because like you mentioned very nicely, that picture format, like because you just need to be spotlighted, but we always tend to do all the other things of makeup of us and doing like a beautification of us, which is not the thing. If we happen to meet happen to get a chance, like okay, by just getting spotlight, you will get to see the darshan of the Lord. The same way we need to think of in our life, okay, for photo we are doing a lot of beautification, and we are very consciousness of like okay, while doing makeup while we are taking the photograph. The same way, if we are in the consciousness of okay, our every activity is recorded and seen by Lord Sri Krishna, then we would be more consciousness, okay, Lord don't want this particular moment to be acting in this manner, like I don't want to act in this manner, so that like a Lord is becoming happy, because the Lord will never wanted us to cheat anyone, us to not to be happy with anyone, us to not to be like okay, not trying to help anyone, like so if we have that consciousness in our mind, Lord is capturing every moment of our life. He is recording, he is spotlighting like each and every one of us like individually, though we have like a millions and billions of members, like a be it one who is practicing devotion service, one who is not practicing devotion service. Lord is recording everything. If we are having in that consciousness, definitely like we can try to do a little bit of like whatever you mentioned in a continuous manner. You explained very nicely, Prabhu, like amazing this three key success, like to go back to Godhead is amazing. This session would be remembered for a long time, like and this sloka, like you taken it to a next level. Amazing, Prabhu. And sorry, Prabhu, like I was mentioning Banasura, it is not Banasura, it is Naragasura, who kidnaps all the 16,108 wives of
Haribol.
Krishna. Yeah,
Yes.
Haribol. So thanks a lot, Prabhu. Like I'll call now Ati Sundari Mataji to add her feedback and comments. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Vasanta Prabhu, like wonderful Kirtan Prabhu. So like the tune also, it is amazing tune Prabhu. So thank you so much for a wonderful Kirtan. And now say Sadhu Prabhu, amazing class, very nice class, because I heard this shloka many times, but how you connected with the key of love of Radha and Krishna, that is amazing. Like it is, I will never forget this key as you explained. Thank you, Sadhu Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thanks, Mataji. Like so, hope you will not forget the Sadhu Prabhu also. Hare Krishna. Now I'll call Venkatapata Chaitanya Das Prabhu. He was very fortunate, like to have his association from India.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hope you are safe and
with all your prayers, Prabhu. Good, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Dandat pranam to all Vaishnavas. Sorry, Prabhu, I missed your kirtan today. As Mataji said, I really missed it. I should have. I just entered, Prabhu. So in between, I was in and out. Sunil Prabhu, yes, class was very nice, Prabhu. I was hearing in between. Okay, I missed many things, but one thing, Prabhu, as far as my understanding is concerned, bhakti means serving Lord. That it is very tough to do directly. That is better to do through serving devotees of Lord. That's what I understood, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Dandat pranam, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, yes, you're right, Prabhu. Actually, Prabhu, so sorry, Prabhuji, if I was not clear, Prabhu, and thanks for correcting me. Prabhu, what I actually meant was directly to Krishna, not via Maya, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah.
No, directly we can we see serving our superior means we should do that very carefully. But when we are doing ultimate, serving ultimate, we need to be more careful. Even a small minor mistake, ignorant mistake also could land in a big aparadha. So better to let us better to go through parampara, go through gurus. It will be a proper way, and with proper guidance we can serve Lord by serving the devotees of Lord. Hare Krishna. Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thanks, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thanks, Venkat Prabhu. Now I will call Preeti Swarupini Madhavi Devi Dasi to add her comments or feedback. And now Dia also adding her comments. Hare Krishna. Okay, correct.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Many thanks Prabhuji for enlightening us with the blissful session and more insightful thoughts. So it's really blessed and fortunate to hear from you all the time. It's actually real nectar. So whenever I am hearing from you. So especially I liked the way you connected the three words, which is without reservation. The other one is constantly we have to perform the devotional service, and the third one is very favorably, like without having that material desires or without having the mindset to speculate. Through the mental speculation we can try to understand the Lord. So we can just constantly and constantly, if we are and favorably and without reservation, without any condition, if we are performing the devotional service, we will be able to understand the greatness of the Lord. So that the three key points, key words you connected was amazing. And also just by working for the Supreme Person, just by hearing his and also like always in his thoughts, simply by following what exactly he has been said, that everything belongs to him and we are just here just to take care of his property. So without claiming any proprietorship, if we are entering service in a submissive or with that service attitude, as it is said in Tadvidi Pranipadena Pariprashnena Sevaya. So likewise, if we are having that service attitude and the bhakti, so obviously we will be able to please him, and we will be able to get that greatness. We will be able to understand supreme greatness. So the examples you provided for each section also was very wonderful, Prabhuji, and a nice selection of sloka and beautiful explanation, Prabhuji. Many thanks for the inspiring session. Hare Krishna.
Thanks, Preeti Swarupini Madhavi Devi Dasi. Now I'll call upon Grace Santakopeshwar Prabhu to add his feedback. I know
Krishna,
he
Prabhu.
joined late. Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhu. Sorry, I was too late to actually comment on this. But what I can figure out is Sadhu Prabhu spoke on a very important topic in a very interesting way. So, if I understand correctly, that the topic of today's discussion was devotion, right, Prabhu? Devotional service and around it.
Yeah, key of success in devotional life. Yeah.
Very well.
You
So
missed the yeah.
yeah, and thanks Vasan Prabhu for summarizing it. Due to that, I was able to catch that. So I would like to share something on devotional service. I am sorry if it is not in line with what today's discussion is. I had heard in one lecture wherein it was mentioned that the most important thing in devotional service and the preacher he puts out this question on an open table discussion, so everyone comes out with the responses, different responses: humility, this, that, Vaishnav Seva. So they come out with many responses, and then finally the preacher says that yeah, this all are correct, but the most important thing in devotional service is empowerment. So without Krishna empowers us, it is not possible to do the devotional service. He took the example of Hanuman. So the Vanaras were divided into 4 groups and they were sent in 4 directions. But why was that Hanuman went in that direction where Mother Sita was there. It was because of Lord Rama's arrangement. He might have probably ended in other thing, but Hanuman, because he was empowered to serve Lord Rama, and that was the reason he was in Krishna arranged everything in such a way, Rama, that Hanuman ended up in that group which was heading towards south, and then they figured, oh, Mother Sita, when they reached the final of their at the end of the tip in the southern near what, if let's say Kanyakumari, then that was the part where they realized that yes, this is Mother Sita is across the sea towards Sri Lanka, towards Lanka. So empowerment is very important, and then he relates us to our day-to-day life. So whenever we get an opportunity to serve, the way, let's say, even when I'm given opportunity by Vasant Prabhu to speak something, that is basically Krishna's empowerment. Without that empowerment, we wouldn't have participated in the discussion. Without the empowerment, we wouldn't have spoken anything in this discussion. So anything that we do is Krishna's empowerment. May it be sweeping the floor for Krishna service, or may it be delivering a very fantastic lecture. But whatever it is, you are able to do it because you are empowered by Krishna to do it. So you are actually honored. You are given that privilege. Whenever you do any service, we are actually privileged. We have given that privilege by Lord Krishna. So without that, however great we may be in that skill, maybe oratorship or whatever it may be, it is all waste. Without Krishna's mercy, we won't be able to execute any of his devotional service. So I like that part. So thank you, Prabhu, for taking Sadhu Prabhu taken this interesting topic, important topic, Prabhu. And I will surely go through the recording. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you, Vasant Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thanks a lot, Prabhu. Like you joined so late, but you could able to give us the nice, insightful thought. So if no further comments, like we can stop the recording and we can have the darshan and close the session. Hare Krishna.